I see the little.
Hello. We see the little live thing come up, but then we're never quite sure when the audience joins us. So if I'm talking to nobody, I apologize. If I'm talking to somebody, I apologize because it's kind of inane. But we are here on our regular Monday night call. In just a second, when my cohort gets all of the feeds going behind the scenes or whatever this wonderful magic that she's capable of, we will start the process of talking about Park Lane Jewelry. We're so glad you're here. Okay, I'll do it for you. I kind of got this down now. Jean will say, hey, put in the comments if you're here. Put live or replay. We want to know that you've joined us.
We're live in both places. I always like to do an at
Okay,
everyone.
perfect.
In the studio group, because we have two different things here. We have the Grace. Hey, Brenda, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Say hello when you pop in. Hey, Krista, hello. How are you? Hello. So in the studio group, I like to add everyone because then they might see the link that we're live. But I can't do that in the studio. You can only in the business page. You can only do followers. So it's all technical jargon and it's insane. But we are in
Thank God
the
for
right
you.
places.
What you've done, little lady, is buy yourself a permanent job here.
somehow this is working. And then I'm going to do what I told you. And I'm going to click back to where we were open because I want to see if I can see the comments here. So there's never just one place to see the comments. So hello to everyone.
I can look at my beautiful arm party while you're going back and forth.
Oh, it is pretty. What do you have on?
I have on the Embraceable. I have on the Aria. And I have on it's still available, that little style drop for $40. It's silver and
really pretty.
Not an impression, yeah, but it's very pretty, very
Eternity.
Pretty. I noticed the other day people were putting up a lot of screenshots because it was Hoda's last day on the Today Show. She wears a series of the Embraceable bracelets almost every day.
She does, certainly.
Yes.
She certainly does.
I wasn't a regular watcher. I could have been telling people sooner.
I did 2 Rikas and a marshmallow today. 2 Rikas and a marshmallow.
2 Rikas and a marshmallow.
2 Rikas. It's almost like we're having
going once, going twice.
I just almost like we're having a little auction. You know what, Megan? We have a ton of people watching, so why don't we?
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, this is super fun. So hello to Marilyn and Margie and Brenda and Jean and Jody and everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. It's Monday somehow. I have no idea how, but it is. And Mondays are my favorite night of the week because I get to go live with my executive company vice president, Mary Grace Lewandowski, and I get to interview her about the Park Lane opportunity. Now, the second I say that, people go, oh, don't do that. All right. What we want you to
free jewelry.
Yeah, we just want you to sit here and listen with us. Just hang out, a little girl time, 20 minutes. We're going to chit chat about Park Lane. And I just want you to just kind of listen with an open heart and an open ear, because you might hear something that really jumps out at you. And this might be something that would be perfect for you as a little extra income stream, a little side gig, little side hustle, if you will. Or you might have a neighbor or friend or coworker that's looking for something like this. And we sure would appreciate if you would recommend us to them. So if you were invited to this group tonight, to this live, welcome. Drop the name in the comments of the stylist who invited you here tonight. Looks like Carrie Hartley was invited by Linda Albrecht. So thank you so much, Carrie. We're so happy you joined us. So thank you so much, Mary Grace, for taking your time to chit chat with us about direct sales. I'm going to jump right into my first question. And, we've this question has evolved over the years, has it not? Because it's not just about what is direct sales, because I think we use the word direct sales synonymously in what we do. However, not everybody knows what that is. So how about a little definition of direct sales might help to start us off. But what is direct sales and how is it different from MLM, from multi-level marketing?
You're exactly right. And I think the average everyday human being maybe doesn't even know what either of them are, but they are used. They swap the names a lot, and they're actually very different things. So multi-level marketing would be like when the emphasis is signing people up to buy monthly, signing people up to become reps so they can get a discount on what they buy monthly, that's really the number one focus of a multi-level marketing business. Direct sales just means direct to consumer. So, when people will say about anything that if you're like, oh no, is that one of those things where you have to bug all your family and friends? And it's like, no, I mean, I feel like Hallmark Boutique certainly sells to more than just their family and friends, so our emphasis is more on selling. There's definitely a recruiting aspect if you want to build a huge business like I did, because one person can only do so much. And when you have other people doing the same thing, you spread the word faster. But definitely very, very different models, very different models. So this is direct sales, direct to consumer, which is actually how sales started. I can't think of the word, Ginny, and I talk about it a week after week, but like on Little House on the Prairie, not the general store, because it was even before the general store. But when the guy would go in his wagon from, like farmstead to farmstead selling his
Yeah.
goods,
Little
that was
hucksters.
like direct sales. Yeah, like he got
Little
the
hucksters.
product from other companies, and then he went and resold it and brought it to the people, and they loved it, right?
Door to
So that's
door.
kind of what we do. I mean, and back in the day, seriously, it was something only the very rich did, at a point where like the salesperson would go to them. It was kind of unheard of. So it really is a very comfortable, wonderful way to shop, especially in today's world, because sometimes you don't have a person that you can literally talk to get their advice, to get their
Mm.
especially like people like us that are like trained to be stylists in a way, like let you know what goes with what and what looks so great and what's really in. So I love it. I love it. My customers love it. It's a wonderful place to be. So direct sales, people just misunderstand what the word means. What direct sales is really also is running your own company without the overhead or the risk. We are independent contractors, so we run our own company. And especially
Mhm.
the way Park Lane has set it up, they want to make sure that we know this is our business to do with as we wish. I really admire that. And it's a way, like you said in the beginning, a side hustle, a side gig. A statistic popped into my head that I read recently that something like over 80% of people in the world are looking for a side gig in today's world.
Yeah,
So truly, I mean, it's wonderful because you work it around your own hours. And that's the beauty of direct sales also, is you decide when and if and how you're going to work. And I don't know any other part-time gig that you could do that with. I really don't. It's like you usually would have to show up when someone else tells you to show up. Okay. So lots of bennies to it. That's just a short little explanation about direct sales.
I always like when you say direct to consumer. I think that is
That's
exactly
it.
that encompasses what we do. Personal shoppers, if you will. That's
Yeah.
really and you talked earlier about it being for the elite years ago, and that's so true. People couldn't
Yeah.
afford that, and that is what we do as a representative of this brand. We're personal shoppers for each individual, and we know the brand, we know it inside and out,
Yeah.
and we sure enjoy sharing it, don't we? So
Yes,
that's
we do.
direct sales.
And we need people. We're hiring. We're understaffed.
I feel like in all the year we've always been understaffed because
We are.
it's
Park
just
Lane's the best kept secret. Yeah, there's
yeah
so many more people to reach. So many more
it
people to reach.
it evolves, it becomes bigger,
Yes.
which is interesting.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so now that we know what direct sales is and the comparisons of extra additional incomes and things of that nature, where does jewelry fit into like the direct sales space?
Yeah, because there's not as many as there used to be, but there are many direct sales companies. And if you were to Google, I'm thinking about direct sales or something that general. One of the things that comes up when they give you advice, whoever in Google land is writing the answer, is to pick a product that you love. And I think that's, true, because ultimately it is your product. But I will tell you, I used to sell steel when I worked in corporate, and I didn't love steel. I was very successful
It's
because I loved
true.
the people. I loved the people to whom I sold. So I do. I love jewelry, but 1,000% honest. And I know you and I have the same story. I was not a big jewelry wearer. I was not a big jewelry wearer. What I did was, the direct sales company that I represented before, I sold candles. And I loved candles, you know, and I just kind of fell into it because I went to a show and I thought, oh, I was looking for something to make extra money. I could do this. Well, Park Lane is the only direct sales company that recognizes past experience and will bring you in a title and pay that's commensurate with what you were doing in the other company, which is what every corporate company does, right? But anyway, so when my company went down, same with you, you were baskets.
Yep.
At that point, then, instead of just falling into something, I had the luxury as a professional business person in this particular field to really look at what I wanted. Now that I was coming from a different place, then, oh, I like the product, think I'll do this. Jewelry is the place to be, you guys. Jewelry is so the place to be. And the Levine family is our owners. They are our owners. And when they started this company in 1955, they knew they wanted to use the direct sales model, which we've already spoken about. They knew they didn't want to open a brick and mortar store. What they wanted to do was to be able to go worldwide with different people also getting wealthy, like people like us. They were very smart. They're ahead of their time. They started like when Mary Kay started. They're right after Stanley Home Products. At any rate, they didn't know what product they should sell. They were thinking it would be some kind of home product like pots and pans or something.
Yeah.
And they hired those consultants, and the consultants went out into the world, 3 different ones, none of them knowing the others were doing the same, came back with their unbiased, totally research-based opinions, and all 3 of them put jewelry as by far the #1 recommendation. And that Levines were taken aback and said, tell us why, you know. And same thing today, you know, if I'd been doing my research from the beginning. And jewelry is, the market is absolutely huge. There was a small market that was going to invest in candles or baskets, right? Collectors and burners. But jewelry is like all encompassing, men, women, everything in between, right? One of the #1 gifts in the world. It has an emotional connection. So you look around you, you're going to find that almost everyone that you see has some kind of ornamentation or piece of jewelry on. It withstands the test of time. It's been around since, who knows, in the Bible, Old Testament, all the way up, you know, $1 billion increase forecast in the next number of years. And it's like, oh my gosh, we're going to be in on this. Accessorizing gets bigger. It's considered consumable, you know, like people will buy more and more and more. And I've lived this now, you guys. So I'm not just, you know, just making this up. I've lived it. I see it.
Yeah.
It's consumable in a way that, you know, the seasons and the trends and the outfits. So they continue to invest and buy more and more jewelry. And it's far more popular in today's world to have designer inspired jewelry than the real stuff, because real stuff doesn't hold its value, and people can't switch it up as often. It's not as consumable if you're looking at how much you spent on it, you know, unless you're super, super rich. So it's got so many pluses that way. And then on the other side of it, because now you're listening to this call with ears of possibly joining us as a side gig, okay? It's so, there's nothing to carry. You know, if you decide that you want to do something in an in-home or in a wine bar or whatever, it's a bag the size of your purse that you put over your shoulder. I used to have to get there 30 minutes early to schlep in my candles and set them all. If I forgot to put them out early, then I had to wait for them to solidify at the end. I'm telling you guys, really, seriously, it's like wonderful with jewelry. You're wearing your product. So even if you just want to be an ambassador and someone says, oh my gosh, I love your earrings, and you can say, oh, you know what? This is what I do. Let me give you my website. I mean, why not make the money, right? So we're wearing our product. We're not just wearing our product, our customers are wearing our product. So they refer people back to us all the time. We're able to reward people hugely for wearing our product. So the more product they have, the more people are being referred back to us. So all of those and more are a very good reason to represent jewelry. And just from a personal standpoint, I've doubled how much I sold. I was the #1 salesperson in that other company, and
Yeah, you were.
I have doubled my sales here in the jewelry business because of the amount of jewelry that people will, because of the markets and everything else. So yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, you find that when people start buying jewelry, like they may be hesitant to start because there are people that are hesitant in the beginning. But once they start buying it and they wear it and they start getting the compliments on it,
Yes.
that's really, I think that's
And
where
you
the
know what
real.
else? That's like going back to the direct sales aspect. That's what we're for.
Yep.
You know, we're there. We're helping them
Yeah.
try it on. We're showing them how cute.
Yeah.
You know, no one, you know, they're not, you know, so they absolutely love that.
Mhm.
And what kind of earring they should be wearing for their face, and just all, it's very rewarding. I know it that maybe sounds fluffy, but it truly is to help people feel better about themselves and feel pretty. I love it.
I don't think it sounds fluffy at all. I think it's a very rewarding product to represent. I think if you're going to represent something and you're a woman of these times, like we are, you want to do something that makes people feel good. And
Yeah,
jewelry makes people feel
absolutely.
good.
And the
So
job makes people feel good. How many
it
people go to
does.
a job? Yeah, and it's like,
That's the
oh,
joy
I look
of it.
forward to going to this one. Yeah.
I even hate to use the word job because, so, I
Yeah.
mean, it is a job. I'm not going to say it isn't. It's a part-time job, but it's not. To me, a job has a negative connotation, and this is really something that you can do right alongside what you do for a living, and
Oh,
you can
big
sit
time.
and it can be your fun thing. It's fun to meet
Absolutely.
up with women and hang out and share sparkle, and it makes people happy. I don't know. I'm getting all mushy, but I mean, it's true. It really
It's
is.
absolutely true. Yeah, people overthink it because really it's just a lot
Big
of
time.
fun. It's very uplifting. So
Big time. So now that we know what direct sales is and what we do, we know that we're personal shoppers. We know that jewelry is the place to be because it's, projected to increase by the billions,
yeah.
in a very short time frame, and it's something that everyone loves and most people wear and adore. How does Park Lane like fit into that niche? Like, why is Park Lane the one?
Yeah, there's other jewelry companies. You guys might not even know that. And if you didn't know that, then let's just stop right here. No. No, I like to be totally transparent because they're out there. But I'll tell you, I had the personal experience. I told you that I did my research and I said
Mm-hmm.
jewelry's the place to be and blah, blah, blah. And then I had a couple really nice offers, like to work for home office for a couple companies. I ended up choosing Park Lane, um, for a lot of reasons that I did the research. And one is the line. I mean, our line is not, most companies, all of them that I can think of off the top of my head, have a niche market. So, you know, if it's just crystals or if it's just pearls, then if you have someone who's not into that, then you just lost that whole market. And one of the reasons I wanted to choose jewelry was because it was a universal market. So there's that. Our line appeals to everybody. There's a little bit of everything in there and then some. And yet they managed to stay of the times and dropping the coolest, trendiest things. And I feel like it's keeping me young too, because I always kind of know what's going on out in the fashion world. But I digress. So that's one reason. But then also, we've been around since 1955. We're cash rich, we're debt free. Watching what had happened to my other company, that became very important to me. I wanted to know that I had something that I could rely on. Their programs. Now, when we talk about programs in direct sales, generally, the program for a direct sales company, they generally, not always, will have like a free something that the hostesses get, like
Right.
people who bring their friends in. But like I know there's like a really famous makeup company. There's others too where the company doesn't provide that. The rep has to do that if she wants to do anything like that. So that's not always tried and true. And then the other program is the profit program. And then the program that we have that I had never really heard of before was a customer sale that was always available for
Yeah.
customers. So we have very rich programs. We have a customer sale that is such a great value for the customers that everybody talks about it all the time and shares it. But it's also wonderful for us because their best value lands them not with one piece of jewelry, but generally 6 or 7 or 8 pieces of jewelry, which, if you reflect for a minute on what I said earlier, has more people wearing more jewelry that comes back to us. So the customer sale is great, and it drives our average order to $100 or more. And everybody's happy because we get paid on the sales, right? I've had people say,
Hmm.
like, I'm going to go sell blank jewelry because it's like $5 a piece. Okay, first of all, you get a lot of complaints because $5 jewelry is going to break. They don't have a guarantee like we do. Secondly, how much money can you make? How much would you have to sell? If you're
I
making 50%, which I
speaking
know
to the
that's not what
choir.
it is. Yeah, 250 per piece. How many pieces would you have to sell that, really really make a huge difference in your income? So there's that. So, and then we're the highest paid in the industry, the highest paid in the direct sales industry.
Yeah.
So I've lived it now. My highest income at my first company, and I was in the top 10 income earners, was 250,000 or something like that. I was thrilled.
Which is fantastic. Let me just
Yeah,
say.
I never thought I could make that much money. I was
Right.
absolutely thrilled. Do you know though that here I've had years where it's closer to 700,000?
Yeah.
So, and it's not because I all of a sudden grew this greater work ethic than I had before or anything. So, for the same amount of time and talent and ability and everything, to be able to triple, double, almost triple, that's like unbelievable. And I'm not the only one that says that. So we work smarter, not harder here because the profit program is so generous. I'm not going to go into all of our programs because you're not going to remember, but they're rich and they're wonderful. And that's why I chose Park Lane. In addition to that, they're very incentive driven. So we're not fear driven. So we don't have minimums. And that's going to appeal to a lot of people. It's not like Scott goes, how that's our CEO. How is it your own business if we tell you have to do a certain amount per month? How is it your own business if you attain it, you get this certain title and then we take it away because you didn't do what we wanted? He said, we want it to be your business. If you can't work, if something's going on, then you can't work. You're not going to make the money, but you can't work. We're not going to take anything away from you. So they incentivize us, though, with so many delightful things. So if you love to travel, Park Lane has 2 trips a year that you can earn just by doing your business, not by jumping through hoops and doing way better than anyone's ever done, but brand new people can earn the trips. Okay. They make it very doable. They have a bonus program where you can get your car paid for every month. They have the free jewelry one. That's what I should start with. Because honestly, for wherever anybody's coming through from, usually your mindset right now is you're a customer. Maybe you're not even a customer. But imagine if you could get $1,000 in free jewelry every month. And not only that, but get paid for the jewelry you're already buying. So here you are buying jewelry and you get a check back every week for 30% to start of whatever you bought. It's the friends and family discount. So we have people that join Park Lane just for their own usage. It's kind of silly not to
Not
in
to.
some ways. Yeah. So again, they incentivize us with things like that. I know I'm leaving stuff out, but they really are like, and they're still here. Like we watched so many companies go under during COVID, direct sales and multi-level marketing. And thank goodness Park Lane just had their 1955 start with their cash rich and they're debt free and they've lived through bunches and bunches of crises through the years. And man, they were throwing more at us and our customers in order to keep us happy and excited. So there's a lot to be said about them.
It's amazing when you really start. I don't know that we've ever really covered all of the perks of
I don't think you can in
being.
one. Yeah.
I don't feel like you can either. And I think it is overwhelming. But to know that you can share something that makes people happy, you can make money off of that. When you bring other people in, you can make a little money off of that. Or if you're a big time buyer, to sign up for the friends and family discount, basically become an ambassador to our brand.
Yeah.
You literally can place your orders. If you spend $100, you get 30 back. I mean, it's like a nice little deal for a year. So I love that.
Did you ever get up to the counter, Janine? You get up to the counter at Macy's, let's say,
Yeah.
and you hand your things in, and the girl goes, "You know what? I think I have a coupon back here you can use." And first you think like, how nice of her to not to offer that to me, when I didn't bring it with me, and how exciting to get something for less. That's what we're doing right now. We're offering you guys that coupon from behind the counter that you didn't even know was out there. 30% off everything.
Great analogy. And at the end of the day, it can be a business for you also. So
Yes.
you can choose for what it is, and no quotas, no minimums, all the things you want to hear, but you sit back and say, where's the catch?
Yeah.
There isn't one. Mary Grace,
Yeah.
Mary Grace's leader team and her organization are made up of men and women who have worked other brands for many, many, many years. We have hundreds of years of direct sales experience. I hate to say that because that makes us all sound very old, but we truly
But
do.
many of them were the best too, like the
And
best. And now they're here.
And we came in direct hire because Park Lane interviewed us. So
oh my gosh.
You sit back and you say that, and you say to yourselves, I mean, I always say, if I could stand on the rooftops and shout this to people, like, I've been through another company. I know what's out there. This
I know.
is the one you want to start with. I wish I would have
Yeah.
known that 30 years ago. I truly do.
Well, the
Truly.
other companies knew that. There's a lot of psychology to this, but the other companies knew that
Right.
the only way they could keep people away from us was making sure they didn't hear about us, or if they did, that they're like,
Very
ah.
true. Very true. Or you heard about, and yeah, so it's interesting to me. So let's chit chat really briefly about like kid options and things of that nature, and like why is now a good time? I mean, it's
Yeah,
January.
well,
What is
you know,
that?
it really, I am a little partial to January starts too, because I started in January. It's such an amazing psychological time, fresh, new, blah, here we go. For a lot of reasons within your own head and your own heart and your own life. Time to clean up, time to go forward, time to pay off our Christmas debt, anything that's happening. Let's go into 2025 debt free with a plan, whatever. All of those reasons, which are personal reasons. But from a standpoint, business wise too, our new line is dropping like tomorrow. So
For
you're
real?
going to be yeah, it's dropping like tomorrow. So the first to show off the new, what do we even call it? Fall, winter?
No, spring,
Spring.
summer, spring's
What?
collection,
Oh, you're
spring
right.
collection,
What's the matter with me?
spring
I'm like,
collection.
what? Yeah, you're right. But we drop several new capsules a year, and a major one is coming out tomorrow. And people just are just you could be the rep that would represent it. So how smart would that be? And now is always the time, you guys. Now is always the time. If it is in your head and heart right now,
Right.
and what you're doing right now is you're a little bit excited and you're considering it. What you're gonna do is start to think about all the things that could or couldn't happen. And we don't know any of that yet. And
No.
successful people lean in. They don't overthink it. They just say, I'm gonna do it, and the road will be revealed. So right now, as of tonight, like you really might want to sign up tonight, because I don't know that they might raise the kit tomorrow night after the new line comes out.
No.
But tonight, it's $129. Not only that, but you get to pick an impression bracelet of your choice, which is valued at $188, plus $500 of whatever you want. So you get to go through and get $500 worth of jewelry for 129 bucks, as well as an impression bracelet. So what is that? $688
688.
worth of jewelry
Mhm.
for $129. The $129 encapsulates the jewelry, but it also pays for you to have a website of your own. It gives you
Appreciate that.
access to everything that goes on in Park Lane's back office and in my organization's back office, which can help you have a cut and paste online business. And the Park Lane, like they pay all our credit card fee. Like there's none of that, and all encompassed in that $129. It's a tax write-off, which I don't talk about that a lot, but it was actually my husband's favorite thing. Like I get so many write-offs when you run your own business. Look it up; it's amazing. But also, the $129 you can pay yourself back really quickly, because what you do is you schedule your own show, and this is something like I just cannot recommend it highly enough. You schedule your own show. So let's say Janine invited me to try Park Lane. I would schedule my show, but Janine would do my show. So my only job would be to watch, and learn. So she would do my show, but who's going to get the paycheck? Me. Who's going to get all the free hostess jewelry? Me. So not only did I just pick out the $688 worth of jewelry from Park Lane, I get more as the hostess, and then I get a paycheck that week for what
Yep.
we just did together. So that's going to be more than $129. So really your kit is, I'm not allowed to say free, but it kind of is. It's kind of like a rebate. I'm into the coupon talk tonight.
It's good though. It's good.
It's
Because
like
you
a
know what?
rebate.
Those are things we understand. When you
Yeah,
give analogies like the Macy's counter girl pulling out a coupon and being like, "Here's a deal," that's exactly what we're doing. We're pulling the coupon
right.
right out in front of you. And the stylist who invited you here would be thrilled if you contacted her right after
Yeah.
we're done.
And for
And
every week that you don't work, you're not getting paid.
yeah,
Why not
like
work and get paid? I
and
mean,
and, and
just
Mary Grace, tell me, because I know you have better words for this than I do. What's it going to hurt to just host a party?
oh my gosh. No, you definitely need to schedule a party. Even if you're like, I still have to talk to my husband. I have to do this. I have to do this. I get all that. Okay. But if you schedule a party and hold the party, it's going to be a wonderful gift to the girl that started you. You're still, I wanted to, you're still going to get tons and tons of free jewelry. And really what we call it is a decider party, because chances are you're going to see how excited all your friends are and everything. And at the end of that, you're going to
Right.
say, well, do I want the paycheck or should I give it to Janine, using my past analogy? So just
Right.
schedule the show and work out all the other stuff later. Yeah. We're
That's what
very
we're here
laid
for.
back. Yeah. That's
Thousand.
what we're here for.
I believe that the 129 is not just for the kit of $500 in jewelry and the extra impression
Your
bracelet for
website.
188,
Yeah.
the website and the training. The training, it's priceless. Okay. So, and where can you start a business today in America, anywhere, for $129 for the entire year and be set up and ready to go the next day? That's the amazing thing about Park Lane. Mary Grace, I dropped the Google questionnaire
Yes.
into the comments. Do you want to
Yes.
give them a little insight on what they
Yeah.
need to do with
Whether you
that?
have any interest in joining us or not, you still go in the jewelry drawing. So I will be giving away free jewelry to somebody who fills out a Google form this evening. I'll do a random pick, and it is curated to what you like. If you fill in that, I can't remember what question it is, doesn't matter, but it asks you actually what kind of jewelry you like. So be sure to take some time and let me know what kind of, metal colors, and maybe you don't have pierced ears, so you don't want earrings, but I will choose and send you jewelry that hopefully will put a big smile on your face. So thank
New
you so
spring
much.
collection dropping tomorrow night. Now is your time. Would you please do us a solid and meet us back here next Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, for more question and answers about Park
Yes, bring a
Lane?
friend.
And
Yeah.
bring a friend along that would benefit greatly from hearing this. Mary Grace,
Yes.
thank you so much for your help
I
tonight.
love it. I'll talk to you later. Bye,
Have a great night,
everybody.
everyone. Bye-bye.